It's Week 11 of the National Football League. And this one features the Bulls. Burner at wide receiver. It was a nice line for him a week ago, reaching the century mark and scoring a touchdown. It's the Bulls and the Thunderbirds, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the state of New Mexico and the high desert city of Albuquerque. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Bulls of San Juan taking on the Thunderbirds of Albuquerque. Hello again, everybody. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. And Charles, let's do some breaking down of this Albuquerque club as they enter play. We're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
Meanwhile, for visiting San Juan, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And if you look back,
the NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 89 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
On 2nd down, Beasley looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now Jones. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's Bennett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Operating from the gun, Jones. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bulls will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
James to throw on 2nd down. That's swung out wide to Harris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Here's 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. James. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A nice gain of 21 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Off play action. James. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. James. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset. All the option left, it's Jones. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. Beasley.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
He may go back to the huddle and have a little discussion with his passer. You know, maybe you don't have to leave me quite that much. But on that play, bailed him out in a big way, didn't he?
He did indeed. Hey, at least he gets to put it on the highlight reel. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff up the middle. Beasley. Powering forward. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now they try the right side here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Brings up 2nd and 13.
Up the middle they go. Beasley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Operating from the gun, Jones steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And the 10-year bet knocks it through the goalpost.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Here's James looking to throw on second down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw. James. And he's got his target, Harris. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
They'll try the right side with Harris.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
Offside. Defense.
So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
Now James on 1st and 10. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Well, partner, the hit sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play, you're actually working your way back inside towards traffic where the big guys are coming from inside out, whether it's defensive ends or linebackers. And a lot of the time, instead of securing the pass, your eyes might stray towards the middle and wonder where the big hit's going to come from.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. James. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
And his kick here is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. San Juan's offense ready to get started again.
And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think you could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
And they bring their punter out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Albuquerque offense ready to take over once again. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good. And looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
To throw is James on first down. In trouble, and he's taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb now. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the pressure gets to him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
.44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable here from the 38.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll start by running the option to the right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on 3rd down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
The Albuquerque offense out to take over now.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The end result, 21 yards.
They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun, James. Caught right side, Davis. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, James. He finds his man complete. It's Barker. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
James now throwing on first down.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with 1 more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
Back to throw again.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Beasley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Pierce. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
And this one caught by Beasley.
And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Face mask. Defense.
So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 1st and 10, Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's Bennett. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. 2nd down and a yard.
At the 25-yard line.
Back to throw. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Up the middle they go. Rose. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Just need a yard here. Second and 1.
Brings up second and 1.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Second and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He finds his man, complete. That's Barker. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be fourth down.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They're going for it. This is Harris. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Operating from the gun, James. To the sideline and incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This is caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Thunderbirds are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point right down the middle, and that will tie things up at 13. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
On the option left, it's Jones. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's pulled in at the 32. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Looking to throw. James. Now they go screen. It's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. How about that? They weathered the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Well, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now a 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, James. And this will be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throw complete to Bell. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 11 yards there, first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Harris. Diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now a handoff up the middle. Beasley. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
False start, offense.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Jones. Over the middle, it's complete.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now an option play on second down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Holding offense.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They hand this off to Harris. Gets around him. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bell. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. Now a give, running left is Harris. As we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. James. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Operating from the gun, James. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Operating from the gun, James. That's to the sideline and incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This will get the lead up to 7. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. The offense on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They held him in check in the 1st half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the 1st half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Off the play fake. Jones. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. And that was one I kind of saw coming, Charles. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the 2nd half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
They run with Harris. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. James. Short throw, that's caught by Davis. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And 3rd and 8 now.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Operating from the gun. James. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards.
And the Bulls are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Albuquerque offense ready to take over once again. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
James throwing to start the drive. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, we all know possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Under pressure, and down he goes.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
And there was a good opportunity to just want to ride there on a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Albuquerque offense out to take over now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. James. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Jones on 1st and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line.
2nd and 6 coming up.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Up the middle they go. Beasley. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now a handoff running through the middle. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Beasley. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He's hit 3 times already, and this for the win. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for San Juan, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Albuquerque, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.